What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of It Came From Facebook. This is the show where I take a look at local marketplace listings for motorcycles. We're looking for cursed things, good things, and showing you guys things you should be looking for if you're trying to buy a bike in your local area. Today we're looking at Atlanta, Georgia, a major metropolitan area, a little bit north of Florida, because in Florida you gotta go north to go south, if you catch my drift. Let's check out some motorcycle listings. All right, the first one I wanted to point out is an $800 2006 Suzuki Katana. Now you might say, Yam, $800 for a motorcycle is pretty good. I mean, you're getting a whole freaking bike for $800. It's got an inline 4 engine, classic looks. It's mid 2000s. What's not to like? Well, there's quite a bit on this thing that leads me to believe it was very much abused and did not live a good life. So first, let's check out the video and see if we can ascertain any knowledge. Looks like we have no sound on the video, so that's not very helpful. Let's see the seller description. $800 slash or best offer, new battery, no title. Ooh. I can get the title, but it will take some time. Left and right crank covers have been replaced recently, will not turn over. I'm unsure of the issue. Once it turns over, you will be able to ride. So yeah, again, $800 for pretty much a basket case motorcycle, right? It could be something simple. It could be that the starter motor is just fried or didn't work anymore, and all you gotta do is just replace that, and then the thing will actually turn over. If I was interested in this bike, you should go there and see if it keys on and the electronics all turn on. That would be something. If it tries to fire but it won't turn over, that's a whole other area to start diagnosing, right? Like, you can kind of go down the steps of seeing like what's exactly wrong with this bike. But this is certainly a project bike, something that you would only want to get if you were trying to just have something kind of fun to tool around with in the garage and learn a little bit and have some fun. I wouldn't really buy this thing as a dependable motorcycle. You do see this little pad right here this gentleman has. That's usually a comfort pad you put on your motorcycles. I would put on a hazmat suit and remove that from the bike immediately, because that's probably so saturated with man juices. That's not a good vibe right there. 28,000 miles on the clock is not terrible for a Suzuki Katana of this vintage, but again, given some of the things I'm seeing here, I'm gonna have to rate it about a 3 out of 10 and keep it moving. All right, next up, we have a listing that I wanted to show you guys that I think is like a perfect beginner bike buy. This is a 2020 Kawasaki Ninja. It's a Ninja 400, I can tell based on the fairings and the fact that the gentleman put the fact that it's a 400 right there in the description. So it says 2020 Kawasaki Ninja 400, $4,200 or best offer. This was my first bike ever, so single owner, you love to see that. So it has been dropped from stop, so he did drop it. It does look like the clutch lever is a little sad and wilted. Kept indoors half the year and covered outside depending on space in the garage. Well, that's really nice. Indoors most of the time. Sometimes you don't see that with beginner bikes if people put them on. So it looks like we have a tail tidy on this machine. I'm trying to ascertain some of the damage. Hey, a little Leo Vinci pipe. Those sound pretty good on those. They're a little bit loud for my taste, but they do sound pretty good. Looks very clean and unmodified. We have 13,000 miles on the clock, so we're still plenty mileage left until valve service and those sorts of things on this bike. Clean dash, everything's looking pretty clean. The photos are pretty up close. I mean, I can't really see any major damage on it from dropping it from a stop. Well, you see right here, the brake lever has been bent. This is a classic dropped bike situation here, but very, very cheap part to replace. This is like a $30, $40 lever and you can get going back on the road. I think the clutch lever looks a little low and a little wonky, so you might want to check that out if you're looking at a bike like this. But you know, any beginner bike is probably gonna have been dropped once or twice. It's not a huge deal. They're usually typically just small cosmetic damages that can occur, but it puts you in a better bargaining position. You know, this thing's $4,200. That's a really good deal for like a well-running 400 that you can go out, have some fun with. You know, spend a season or two building up your skills, building up your craft, keep this thing as a little race bike for long term. You know, I think you could do a whole lot worse. This is a real clean little bike, really nice motorcycle. I'm gonna give this one a solid 8.2 out of 10. And let's look on to our next one. Okay, I wanted to point this one out to you guys if you're looking at getting something super cost effective that's gonna run really, really well. So this is a 2015 Honda CB300F. The CB300 line of bikes was Honda's initial response to the Ninja 250, right? This was back in 2012, I think. Honda made the first CB300 line of bikes. So it's a 286cc single cylinder engine that they now use in the CRF 300L. It's been a long running platform and engine for them. And what you gotta know about Honda's small single cylinder bikes is they are virtually indestructible, super simple to work on, and just like the absolute easiest going little beginner bikes you could possibly get. There's a reason why in places like India, Mexico, Brazil, you know, you see Honda single cylinder bikes everywhere. And this is actually a more advanced 286cc. Those bikes are typically the very pedestrian sort of like 229cc air-cooled motors and those sort of things. But the CB300F is a really good snag. You know, this one, guys listening, for $3,250, I can guarantee you, if you sent an offer to this guy for $2,800, he'll probably take it because these aren't that well sought after. But then you have a beginner bike for $2,800 that is gonna work fantastic for you. And it's a little outdated, sure. It's not a super cool CF Moto 450 SS or a Ninja 500, but you know, for you to just get out on the road, which is the most important thing. I tell you guys this all the time. The most important thing when it comes to motorcycling is getting out there, getting away to get on two wheels and having fun, because any bike is better than no bike, you know? Taking a bike is better than walking, right? And it's a lot more fun. So seller description says, great riding, great bike on gas, like new tires, ready to ride. It looks like we have a tail tidy, a slight little exhaust. You know, everything else looks relatively clean on it. So again, 12,000 miles on it. It's a freaking Honda. It's gonna run forever. This would be a great entry-level option for somebody that you could pick up for $2,800 and just call it a day. So really great listing. I think this one's really solid, a good buy for a beginner. And yeah, I'm gonna rate it, I think also an 8.2 out of 10. I think it's a really solid little bike. Let's keep it moving. All right, so I had to include this sort of like, you know, negative energy to the great little beginner bikes we saw. A 2023 Dong Fang Ninja 50cc for $1,500. Guys, this is an atrocious, cursed little thing, isn't it? This is a little Chinese wannabe ninja thing, like mini moped style thing. I'm not really even sure. Yeah, it says moped on it, which you have that as the license plate because you'd probably get pulled over and he's like, no, it's a moped. It's not a motorcycle. Please leave me alone. This is hilarious, dude. Look at this little thing. Look at this wretched little thing. So it quite literally has like a moped style engine and transmission back here that attaches directly to the wheels, but then it's extended out so far, just so that it makes it look more like a motorcycle. This is so funny. It has an R6 front end. What a little Frankenstein thing, dude. This is like, you know, like you know in like medieval times, not the place where you eat the turkey legs and watch people joust in the modern day, but I'm talking like in the Middle Ages, right? You would have accounts of people in like the kingdoms. It's like, ah, yes, his sibling was but a stunted growth and had many ailments in his life. This is the motorcycle version of that. This is the motorcycle version of the Middle Ages, you know, court jester who was like 3'6" and had some sort of like autoimmune disease and leprosy and just like real old world kind of stuff, you know, polio. Like this is the motorcycling version of that. What does this seller say? Oh, he says a lot. Okay, 2023 Dong Fang 50cc with only 174 miles on it, so it's practically brand new. Regretti spaghetti, folks. Put it up on there. We already know what it is. And it doesn't require a tag, insurance, or motorcycle license to ride it. We're only asking $1,500 for, or only, which is $900 less than the retail price. Bro, this was $2,400 retail. You got scammed, boy. We got this bike so that my girlfriend could learn how to ride, but she just moved and no longer needs it. I'm gonna guess you showed up to your girl's place with this and she immediately dumped you. She immediately was like, nah, I'm good. It's fully automatic and tops out at 45 miles per hour. Be a great bike for a beginner or just to ride around. Nothing wrong with it. No mechanical flaws, no accidents, no cosmetic issues except for one negligible scruff by the headlight. We'll be transporting it away from Dawsonville on Saturday. If you're interested in seeing her on Dawsonville, then contact me before then. Oh man, you got scammed. So this is what I tell you guys. So unfortunately, this poor soul paid $2,400 for this thing. You can find a real motorcycle for $2,400. You don't have to buy a brand new weird little thing like this that you will never resell. That's the big thing. You know, you buy cheap, you buy twice, or you buy cheap and you never resell, and you're ultimately out that money. This is what I was saying about those other bikes. Like if you buy a CB300F, like we just saw, for $2,800, you can probably resell it for somewhat close to that. You could probably get 26 for it or 25, and then your total cost on that was $300. Versus this, that you're out $2,400 and you have this this hunk of junk that is just taking up space. So for the Fang Ninja 50cc, the autoimmune disease leprosy little moped here, the not so motorcycle here, we're gonna give it a 1.3 out of 10. And keep it moving. All right, this listing I thought was really cool. This is a really nice listing for those looking for second motorcycles, right? 2018 Honda CB. This is a super clean Honda CB $1,000, seller says. It has always been garage kept and maintenance been done as need be. Tires were just replaced, has a custom made exhaust from Brazil. Shout out Brazil. Olá galera no Brasil. Has custom made exhaust from Brazil, like I said. Fender eliminator kit, always kept on battery tender, bikes runs great, never dropped, oil just changed, not looking to trade. It's pretty much like a perfect CB $1,000R. You can tell, ooh, that's probably so loud on the exhaust, my friend. Oh my goodness. I see this exhaust custom made in Brazil, come to Brazil. That's probably so loud, dude. But it looks, I mean, look at this dash right here in the bar, oh my God, the assembly that you put the bars onto, cannot remember the name of that right now. Single-sided swing arm, like this is a really cool bike. It's a little tail tidy, all that. But what I like about it is this price, $8,000 that you can probably negotiate a little bit down to $7,500 for this thing. Dude, that's a screaming good deal for a practically brand new Honda CB, like a pretty much like a full deal, you know, big boy leader naked bike. $7,500 would be an excellent deal for this. This is that classic, like, you know, this was owned by a reasonable adult human being who did the maintenance, who kept the bike. You know, one questionable mod with the exhaust, I'd ask if he had some sort of like ECU or fuel management issue with that, because if you just put that on there and you didn't get a tune, that bike's gonna run like garbage. I mean, look at this pipe. Look at this exhaust is literally just headers, pipe. So the AFRs, the air to fuel ratios are probably totally off on this thing. But assuming that this person did put a tune on it, that means it's gonna run really well. These bikes are really cool. This is the last generation of that bike. So this is the old school dash that's on it. This dash was actually the same dash that they used on the 2019 CB650R. This was before they went with the TFT display. I actually did a review on a CBR 1000 or CB 1000R Black Edition. Really nice bike, like properly like a really nice bike. It is way more chilled and relaxed than something like an MT10 or a Super Duke, but it definitely has a place in the market. And for this price, for like MT07 money, bro, all day long on this thing. I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10. This is a real nice listing that you could get for a great price. Let's keep it moving. What has 3 cylinders, an Öhlins rear shock, and enough torque to rotate the earth beneath you? Why, it's the MT09 SP giveaway bike on YamiNoob.co, of course. We finally have one of these as a giveaway, and you're not gonna wanna miss
miss it. Head over to the website and get 10x entries for every dollar you spend. We've got hats, t-shirts, keychains, but best of all, I recommend becoming a member to join our community and get automatic entries to win. You can stack them up and apply them to giveaways and they never expire. We have some amazing bikes coming up that you're not going to want to miss. 3-day giveaways, top shelf leader bikes, and much more to round out this year. So head over to yamanoob.co and get 10x entries to win the MT-09 SP giveaway.
Okay, boys, this one I thought was just absolutely fantastic. 2003 Suzuki GSX-R. Now you might say, damn, come on, a Gixxer? Really? A freaking Gixxer Thou? This is a different kind of Gixxer Thou. $6,000, a lot of money, but check this out. Seller description. 2003 Suzuki GSX-R Thou. Original owner. Guys, this is the Gixxer lifer we covered in our expert rider videos. This is your fella who has been a Gixxer man, a Busa man, has taken care of his Suzuki over 20 years of love onto this thing. Always garaged, never crashed, but has been dropped with minor cosmetic usage and wear and tear. It's a 21-year-old bike. This bike can drink alcohol, folks. Usual wear and tear, carbon fiber Yoshimura slip-on, carbon fiber rear fender, carbon fiber heel guards, carbon fiber chain guard, shark fin sprocket protector, frame sliders, rear fender eliminator kit, rear pit bull spools, stand included, beautiful. This guy's just getting out of the game, you'll love to see it. Rear seat cowl included, bike cover included, kryptonite lock included, Suzuki oil filter included. Boys, this might be the most beautiful 2003 Suzuki I've ever seen in my life, dude. This thing is absolutely mint. I cannot believe these exist like this still. It has the OEM turn indicators, the OEM mirrors. What? You never see that. You never see a freaking 20-year-old Suzuki with OEM mirrors. This was owned by a gentleman. This was owned by a proper man, a man of culture. Look at the period correct freaking exhaust that's on it, the Yoshi. It's so beautiful. Got the tank grips, frame sliders with a little bit of wear and tear on them. He was honest about it. He dropped the bike. Man, I swear I can't keep doing these It Came From Facebooks because I always find these bikes that I'm like, oh man, I want to rescue it, dude. $6,000 for this thing looks beautiful. This is a great bike. It's in such good nick. Are you kidding me? Now, 14,000 miles. I don't even think that's that much for a 21-year-old bike. My desert sled has that kind of mileage and it's 5 years old, you know? So that really means that the bike wasn't ridden very much. This guy owned it, took care of it, garaged it, but I think rode it enough to where it was able to be used and didn't just leave it sitting around either. This is amazing. I love to see these kind of listings, simple to the point description, capital letters where it counts, periods, just cleanly telling you what's up with the bike. This is awesome. I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. This one's really, really good. 2003 Gixxer Thou, really, really nice one. And another one that I'm like, I cannot believe there's so many good bikes for sale. this is so sweet. So sweet. Let's keep it moving. Well, boys, one hand gives, one hand takes. I gotta do it to you like this. This is it blows my mind that every single American metropolitan area has a cursed Hayabusa for sale. That's what makes me tell you guys, like, if you want to be a Busa boy, you can just do it. It is readily available for you. And just like a Busa boy would list it, $14,000 for this 2008 Suzuki Hayabusa with the crazy paint scheme here. It says, oh my God, it's Coach. Oh, fashion boy. This guy this was an elevated Busa boy. This Busa boy was like, nah, we're talking luxury, fashion, design. Where's the Hermes Busa boy? All right, 2008 Suzuki Hayabusa, driven 11,500 miles, $14,000. Busa boys never price them below $10,000, ever. Absolutely no trade. One owner has been treated with care, serious inquiries only. We have a crazy wheel setup, the extended swing arm, the exhaust, what looks to be a see-through clutch basket over here. The frame looks like it's been maybe polished or set up in some sort of way. Obviously, the Coach crazy livery that's on this thing, award-winning. Look at that. You have a little trophy next to this thing. What? Oh, it's got a matching helmet too. You'll love to see that. It's a relic of a different time. You know, if you want a time capsule sort of thing, you can definitely get this. But man, this is a classic listing where it's just been modified beyond sellability. That's the issue. I tell you guys this all the time. Don't mod your bike so much that no one's gonna wanna buy it. You wanna do small, tasteful stuff here and there because life changes. You never know what's going. You might wanna do something different in the future, and keeping your bikes somewhat reasonable is gonna be a good bet. This one I'm gonna rate a 4 out of 10, and we're gonna keep it moving. All right, interesting listing here. A 2022 Yamaha YZF R1, 7,500 miles ridden on it. Seller says, 2022 R1 engine and 2016 R1 chassis, okay. Too many updates to list, many parts and accessories, clean VIN, salvage title, driven 7,500 miles. So this very much looks like a track setup. We have tire warmers, we have stands, we have extra sprockets, we have brake rotors, we have all kinds of little fuel gauge, or a tire pressure gauge right there, spare plastic, spare wheels, which is a big thing for racing and track days. And we can tell too the bike, based on the fact that it's got slicks on it, no headlight, no mirrors, no turn signals, no tail light. Different sprocket setup right here, different shock. This was clearly sized for this rider. The slicks that have been used all the way down to the edge. So this is what I tell you guys, this is a clear track bike. And unless you want to just have an exercise in pain and misery, I would not purchase a track bike to then turn into a street bike. If you're trying to get into track days and doing that whole thing, it's a whole different ball game when it comes to trying to find motorcycles like that. You should buy them pre-prepped because it's gonna make it so much cheaper, so much easier. Don't do what I did and take a street bike and turn it into a race bike, because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of money. And it's so much easier to buy a bike that's already ready to go. I did that with my Ninja 400 endurance bike in 2023. Way easier to just do that. So this is a turnkey track bike, right? You got the little World Superbike spec buttons, the triple clamp right here with the cutouts and all that. Different front suspension right here. You can see this is probably sized for this rider, different brake rotors type of thing. Adjustable levers. The big thing on he's got the little GoPro mount for his super sick lap times. You love that. The big thing with a track bike is everything is gonna be modular and adjustable, right? Everything's gonna be tuned in and tweaked into your exact riding style and how you wanna ride on track. And an R1 is a very spicy motorcycle to take on track. And I would only recommend getting something like this if you are really like bleeding edge, expert level club racer, like properly fast guy kind of stuff. This is ridiculous overkill for the vast majority of people. But from a listing perspective, $15,000 for this bike and all the add-ons and goodies. It's a bit much, honestly. I think 12 is a little bit more fair. And you might say, oh yeah, but it's a freaking R1 and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but it's a track spec R1. And the buyer pool for that is about this big. And so I think this guy might have a tough time selling this for 15 G's, because the type of people that would buy this are someone that already have knowledge about an R1 and want to track it and want to go out to the races with it. And it's a little bit too specific for my taste. Salvage title, not a huge deal because it's a track bike. I mean, people buy track bikes sometimes with no title because they kind of assume it's gonna get yeeted and destroyed at some point anyways. So yeah, this one, because of all the extra add-ons and the fun parts that you're getting with it, I'm gonna rate it a 7 out of 10. I think the price is a little too high, but I think that's where I'm gonna end it off on here today for you boys. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. Hope you had some fun looking at some listings with me on Facebook. Drop me a comment below on what you think about today's video, and I truly do appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. And just like that, the video ends. Much like a wave crashing onto shore, all beautiful things must come to an end. But you know what doesn't have to end is the dialogue between me and you. Head over to yamanoob.co, click the link in the description box down below. You can keep talking to me on the Discord server. I'm on there every single day, and my way of saying thank you to you is I give away these fantastic motorcycles. This is an MT-09 SP. Don't miss your chance to win this thing. One of the spiciest and coolest giveaway bikes we've done yet. Hit that link down below and become a member, but while you wait, keep watching the video right over here on Yami Noob.